Hey, everybody, welcome to the podcast or showcase, I should call it. I got two special people with me tonight. We got Vadershader and Rev, two great friends, probably
What?
going to be regulars.
Mm,
Why don't you guys introduce yourself one at a time?
Reb, you want to go first?
oh, sure. My name's Rev. I'm a certified Blue Yeti owner. That's why my mic probably sounds poo poo. But um, well, I'll hear what else here. I I play video games and I like
S-
debating, like not political shit. I think that's kind of stupid. I'm more into that their debate. I mean, you talked about Star Wars with me. You're probably not gonna leave the room for an hour, but besides that, I like Star Wars, like video games, and I like having debate on fictional series. Yeah.
Well, that's
Hey,
awesome, brother. Well, I'm Vadershader. I've been a gamer for many years. I'm probably the old uncle here. Um, I've been gaming since Atari, believe it or not, and just recently started focusing on live streaming a lot and on Twitch and making YouTube videos, which I started to realize is harder than most people think. It's not as easy. But yeah, I love all things gaming, entertainment, and yeah, just here to thank you for having me on the show, there, Shika.
yeah, no problem, no problem. Um, what is everyone recently playing? Like, cause I'm just curious about this, like, cause like game wise, like what are you recently guys playing? Like anything new?
Right?
For me, I've been pretty much clearing my back catalog because there's like new games coming out, which I believe later in the show we're definitely gonna be talking about one of them, which is RE4. Really excited about that one, but that's like talking about games I'm looking forward to versus what I'm playing right now. Figure just get both of them out of the way because I'm probably gonna forget. But I'm excited for Spider-Man 2 coming fall of this year. I'm not, there's another superhero game, which that's another thing we're gonna talk about later. Um, which yeah, don't give. I was excited for that until I found out, which again we'll get into later. Thank you, Shika, for also taking your time out there to have me talk about this, and also Shader, and definitely have me just stutter and roll over. But
Nah, man, you be you, brother.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
thank you,
that's
I
that's,
appreciate
that's the way
it.
everyone rolls. That's everybody rolls.
So yeah, obviously Spider-Man. One thing I will also say, huge Marvel fan. Also a DC fan. I'm kind of getting back into it. But again, later on we'll talk about that little certain topic. But Spider-Man 2 fall this year. Resident Evil 4, I think, is coming in not too long, in 2 weeks. And believe there's one more. I don't think there is. I mean, I think honestly, those are like the two games that I can think of as of right now that I'm excited for to play. Oh, now a lot of people are talking about this one, the Crash Bandicoot game that's coming out. That's has no release date, but it's coming out this year. It's like kind of like a League of Legends type clone, which is weird, but I'll take it. Anything Crash related, I'll take. Um, but as the games I'm playing right now, I'm pretty much playing my whole back catalog because as of recently, I picked up a physical copy of Metroid Prime Remastered, and I figured to because I have this thing of opening new games. I don't know if it's just me, but I have this thing of opening new games and not finishing them. And
The sound of the plastic.
yeah, definitely. I still need a which I know Vader plays on stream Twitch.tv/Vader shit. Hogwarts Legacy. That's another game that I kind of need to finish. I kind of just been bouncing back and forth with Hogwarts and Cyberpunk 2077.
Good
I
game.
yeah, I've been putting that at least Cyberpunk on the back burner since 2020 with the bugs and stuff. Which, if we were to make a podcast, let alone on the bugs, we probably would have 250 episodes at this point. But no, just like regarding Cyberpunk, there's not a lot of bugs as there was for launch, so I'll give them that. And then of course Hogwarts Legacy. I'm not even a Harry Potter fan. I mean I grew up watching it, but I'm not a Harry Potter fan. But I'll even say this: as a non-Harry Potter fan, the game's good. Like of course controversies aside, um, game's pretty fucking good. I have no issue. And
Nice.
you might have to beep that out, Shika. I don't know how you feel about the swearing. I should probably keep it to a minimum. But
Listen,
apologies.
I'm
But
I'm 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 non-PG, so don't worry about
okay,
it.
okay. All right. But yeah, that's really what I've been doing. I guess multiplayer, if you want to include multiplayer, um, Overwatch, and a little bit of Overwatch 2, a little bit of Fortnite 2, Fortnite. As of the new chapter literally just came out today. I kind of get some minutes in before this podcast. Pretty good season, which that's another topic we'll be talking about in a minute, or a couple minutes from now. Don't want to give away I don't want to give away everything now, but Overwatch 2 is pretty good, honestly. You know, still waiting for that story mode, Blizzard, but hey, you do you, I guess. And Halo Infinite, yeah. Player, actually, that's something I want to kind of talk about later. I know it wasn't the things we were talking about, but if you don't mind, Chico, maybe later on
Yeah,
we have
definitely,
some
definitely, definitely talk about it
Halo
later.
Infinite.
I think we gotta let Vader talk a little bit.
Oh no,
Absolutely,
that's fine, man.
yeah,
I enjoy Rev's catalog of games.
yeah.
Got a lot.
Listen, I figured just get it all out of the way, so I don't have to be like, oh, but my apologies for going a bit too long. But yeah, no multiplayer games, single player games, closing the book. That's what I've been doing. I'm gonna pass the talking stick to Shader now.
Oh yeah, the magic stick there.
The talking
um,
stick.
all right, I have it now. Let's see. Games playing recently. Yes, so jumped on Reb, Hogwarts Legacy, despite all the threats I was getting. Because
Really?
not threats, but
Okay.
I was getting. Yeah. Let me fix that. I wasn't getting threats, but I was getting advised that not to stream that or else I'd be canceled. And I was like, no, I'm an old man. I don't care about that shit. I'm too old for it. So, no one's gonna make me do something I don't want to do. And I wanted to play the game, and it was fun. It's great. I finished it. It's lovely. They just added an update that I got to check out soon. So I've been playing that. I've been playing
Just to cut
what's
you
this
off,
game?
did it fix the glitch for the 100%?
No. So that's the thing. I have to jump back on it to check. So I was kind of stuck with one conjuration item that I couldn't get, and it was very frustrating. But other than that, they did add some new things. So when I get that, I'll let you know. Um, been playing a lot of Sons of the Forest. Just came out in early access, I believe, on the 23rd of February, and they came out with a recent patch, adding new stuff to the game. Again, it's early access, but I've been having a blast. I think I almost have 100 hours on that, and always going to my go-to game, which is Rocket League. So between those three is what I've been playing recently.
All right. Yeah. Well, there you go. There's Vader and Rev. For some Shikatun, you're very very quiet. Well, not quiet. Can be kind of loud at some point. But
What are you playing, Sheik? By the way.
I'm going through the whole catalog of all the Dynasty Warriors games. So trying to stream all those on Twitch TV slash Shikatune and all that stuff, and you guys can see that. Probably tonight will probably be with the day this recording probably already been starting to stream six Empires already. So we're going backwards from there. And I'm doing Conan, so we're doing Conan, Warriors, fun stuff. And we're doing this.
Yeah,
So,
I've been watching your streams, by the way, for the Dynasty Warriors. Love them,
yep,
and I can sense your passion for that series. By the way,
it's a fun series.
I've been tuning in both of y'all
It's
streams.
thanks, Rev.
Yeah, I appreciate it. No more, man. But like, yeah, I've been, dude.
but
Don't don't even get started with
to
Shika
lead
with
us into
dynasties.
the first topic, I know some of you guys already talked about it, but what is your most anticipated game this year, like so far? Like even that like it's happened already, like some games already came out. What are you looking more forward towards this year in general?
I'll give the magic stick to Rev right now for that one.
Um, good question.
Is there a game popping out that's like, hey, I can't wait for it to come out this year?
Yeah. So I would say Spider-Man. Um, definitely say Spider-Man 2. Even though we don't know anything about the game, besides that Miles is in it, Spider-Man's in it, Peter Parker, um,
And Venom.
and Venom, yeah, and Craven. That's it. That's all we really know about the game. We're excited for that game to come out. In the possibility, I doubt it, but it would be a bit shocking. This is just going off of speculation and whatnot, so it's not confirmed. But Metroid Prime 2 remastered or a possibility um, of Metroid Prime 4. I mean, one of them might be happening. Like, there's been a huge Metroid resurgence if you've been kind of looking around on the net. But yeah, no, that's really it. Honestly, I'd say just Spider-Man 2. I mean, I can't really like because Resident Evil 4 is around the corner, and then Spider-Man 2 is like fall. And there's really no game that my personal opinion. I mean, hey, I might find out a new game. If you guys have a game that's probably different from mine, which I might look into after this. But yeah, no, just Spider-Man 2 and the possibility of another Metroid Prime game, whether it be a remastered or a new game.
Nice.
Yeah. Passing the talking stick to the Vader.
Yeah. So yeah, I gotta say this year so far has been pretty good with games. Starting with Hogwarts. I've the what's that? Sons of the Forest was a big surprise for me because I wasn't even looking forward to that game, but I was very surprised at how good it is and how much I love it. But coming up, I think we have two good games. I like RPG games. I like JRPGs, RPGs all around, action RPGs. We got Diablo. The big Diablo 4 is coming out in
Yeah,
June.
May.
I think June 6th. I think it was 6/6, right?
Yeah, I'm
That's
gonna
what's what they.
I'll quickly give it a quick look
Yeah,
just
I
to make
think
sure.
June, and I'm definitely. June's going to be busy for me because with Diablo and Final Fantasy 16, um, that's going to be pretty fun. I'm with Rev when we talk about Spider-Man 2, but I don't know if did they even set a release for that yet. I'm not sure.
It's fall 2023. No, like concrete date could
Yeah,
possibly get delayed, but fall
yeah,
2023.
yeah. So I mean, for
I'm actually
and
wrong.
that
Diablo actually comes out this month.
what? No, it can't be.
Yeah, Diablo
Uh,
The
4,
beta
right?
does.
The initial release date literally says, and this is what
Isn't the
Google
beta
has
out
it,
now?
March 17, 23.
Really? I wonder if they pushed it back or
Yeah,
something
Shika,
because
it might be the beta
It says the initial release date. That's all it says. Yeah, it actually could be the beta.
because the
Not
yeah,
beta is like around the corner. If you go like, anyone who it is
because I
again.
know there's like a couple games coming out in March, like back to back to back. I know it's like 1 week and then another week and then a following and then after the final week, I know like stuff's coming out from there also.
yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, those two are pretty much what I'm looking forward to for right now, um, for this year. Maybe the Elden Ring DLC, but I don't know when that's coming out.
Speaking of Elden Ring, I've been waiting on I had my sights on this game for a bit. what was it? It's that Sukiro game. I might be pronouncing it wrong. I think
Sekiro
it's
or
like a
the new
Sekiro,
one?
the new one that looks like
That's Wo Long.
yeah, Wolong looks pretty decent. I might even go play it actually because it just it has the Warriors feel to it in a way. Like I guess because like I like those kind of games, the Three Kingdoms, just have that lore stuff. And like I said, I'm not big with the like Elden Ring games or those games, but like just like looking at it, it doesn't look like a bad game. It looks like a very interesting game and stuff like that. But I think the big thing is that I think I've been mostly waiting for Street Fighter 6, which I know that's one of those games on that list. And then you have Kill the Justice League, which is the new Suicide Squad that just got delayed. Um,
They
you get
delayed it?
Yeah, they delayed it. Delayed it.
Oh,
Don't have a particular date. It's looking like it's gonna probably come out next year.
oh man, that's crazy. Oh, I also forgot. Sorry to jump in, but I also forgot Resident Evil 4 remake. But
Yeah,
I think that's probably something you wanted to talk about later.
yeah,
Ooh,
yeah. We're gonna.
I totally forgot. This went over my fucking head because like the spotlight went over my like the spotlight just immediately hit me, so I was like blinded. Um, here's a good one. Yeah. So the fighting games.
Mhm.
There's like a shit ton of them. I don't want to get in all of them, but like, yeah, definitely excited for Street Fighter 6. But there's another game that I'm really excited about.
Is it MK11?
It's not MK11. It is Budokai Tenkaichi 4.
Well,
That
sounds interesting.
one, that one was a just a fever dream. No one expected that to ever happen, and we're being blessed with another Budokai Tenkaichi game, which is thank you Bandai. But yeah, no, that's kind of really it. With those two games, I'm also really excited about as well, which is coming out later this year. Hopefully, Tenkaichi is also coming out later this year, but I know Street Fighter is coming out in June, which is 6 months, 3 months away. Not even.
So I think we all talked about our anticipated games. I think we can move into the next little thing. Um, the delay of the new Suicide Squad game. Any thoughts about hearing about this delay? Like any theories or anything?
Good, good. It needs to be delayed. Um, in my opinion, it needs to be delayed because only for one and one reason. The game looks great, and then I think anyone who's seen gameplay of the game recently can agree on that. Um, and without doubt, we're not saying it looks bad because herder, right? But there's a reasoning it looks bad. What I mean by looks, like the art style, the music seems pretty banging. The art style, the gameplay looks a bit fun, but there's a fat but. There's an issue, all right? And this game. I don't think this is Rocksteady's fault. I think it's more of WB's corporate side. They want this game to be. It just this game gives me heavy Avengers vibes. Now let's go see what the current state of Avengers is, shall we?
Poor
Oh
Avengers.
wait, it's literally in the recycling bin at this point. So, and not to say Avengers is a bad game either. Like we can talk about that all day. Like I think Avengers was a really decent game. Again, it's just the practices that they did with the game.
I think all three of us can say that the game was pretty decent. I
I
like
had
Yeah,
fun with it.
yeah. I think
like it
everybody.
wasn't a bad game, right? It was just the way they handled it was kind of just smelly, and we don't want to see the same thing happen with Rocksteady, right? Because mind you, Rocksteady, they're known for their Arkham games, which, by the way, if you didn't know at this point, anyone who's watching, this game's canon in the Arkhamverse. All right, so there's that, and I mean the fact that they just kind of like, yeah, we're gonna put a battle pass system. All right, I can, I'm used to that at this point, right? Because I play Fortnite all the time. But for a game like Fortnite, it kind of makes sense, right? Because you're going in free, right? And the thing was with Fortnite is Fortnite's an investment, right? You don't have to worry about a game like Fortnite shutting down. And I could literally, I could say that with like my chest up because they literally, Tim Sweeney literally came out recently by saying, "Hey, our player numbers have not dropped since lockdown, which was in 2020. It risen and it has been at that stable number since. People might not log in all the time, but the player count has been stable with the number. Now, what's the number? We do not know. If you go back in 2020, you can probably do some math and figure it out from there. But for like a game like Fortnite, right? It's meant for it to evolve and whatnot. And I literally don't think it's going anywhere. Seeing how like they can upgrade their engine and whatnot, right? So a game like Fortnite, for having a battle pass, that makes sense, right? But for a game like Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, it does not. Even though they confirmed that there's gonna be updates and stuff. The thing is, right? Not a lot of people like superheroes, which is weird on their part, but not a lot of people like superheroes, right? They like Call of Duties, they like their Fortnites, they like all that. Um, and I can say that pretty assuredly with that. And the thing is, when you make a game like Kill the Suicide Squad, or whatever it's fucking, Suicide Squad the video game. I'm just gonna call it that because the name is just really long, short. Um, it's not gonna really do well when you think of live service because again, you look at a game like Avengers. No one cared about Avengers. A lot of people did care about this game, but you put Battle Pass in front of it. It's like okay, I'm spending like what $60 on this game, 70. I don't really know how much at this point because games are like flippy floppy. I know Dead Space was $70, and I know Resident Evil 4, a next gen game, is gonna be $60. So again, prices may
Like, do you
vary.
do you feel like excuse me, like do you feel like the battle pass system like for like games like Suicide Squad is like gonna keep the game alive, or you think
No,
you guys think it's gonna like
no,
it's just gonna just
I don't personally. I do not think it would. And there's just one, and I'm actually going to get to that point, and afterwards I'll let y'all say your bit. Online only. If you played a game called Wildlands, now there was a Ghost Recon game. You could play online and offline. All right, that was really cool about it, right?
yeah.
Then they did the sequel called Breakpoint, right? And at first, at launch, if you have the 1.0 version, sucks to suck. You can't play it offline. But I think they made it to, and I don't know, don't quote me on this. I'm pretty sure they added the ability to play offline. So it kind of shows that some games can do that, but when you make a game online only, you end up with a game like Ruby Amity Arena, which is not a lot of people know what that is, but since that game was only online only, once they shut down the servers, all the money, all the investment down the fucking drain.
Well, it comes
Yeah,
down
That
to like
I don't. I was gonna say, yeah, I don't think a game like Suicide Squad. First of all, that's what it's derived from the Arkham verse, right?
that's
From the Arkham
correct. Yep.
series, and it's
Mhm.
like you're gonna go from the Arkham series to this game with a live service. Like, what are they trying to do here? It's not gonna
Like
work.
that's not
I
Rocksteady, you
yeah,
know.
I don't feel like it's gonna work at all. To be honest, it's like people are going to play it. They're going to play the co-op. They're going to beat the story. They're going to kill the Justice League like they're supposed to in the game, right, or whatever it is, and then they're going to move on. This live service is definitely, for my opinion, is not going to keep it
well,
alive.
do you feel like because like I know you and me played Gotham Knights. I mean, like does it like if you look at it like the way Gotham Knights is like in some shape and form because there's no battle pass system and I can already see. But I already see like the gear system already technically being there because like I feel like Gotham Knights to me right now is like that. Oh, hey guys, Suicide Squad's gonna have a similar kind of gear system to that because I already see it already. I like when I saw like how they were like, oh, you're gonna have like Venom on your weapons or something like that. I'm like, but didn't we just have that with Gotham Knights? Like, you had like an acid thing that had to take down certain enemies. Like this is just like, like
Yeah,
for some
yeah,
reason.
they're using traditional RPG elements. That's what they're trying to mix it in with these
It's
superhero games.
It's like Shader. You might have played the game series Borderlands. Does that ring a
Yep,
bell?
yep.
Um, it's like Borderlands. That's what I don't know if you see that. I kind of see that. But the thing is, right? I feel like when it comes to like this game looks like a looter shooter. I think I don't know if it's just me, but it kind of just gives me that vibe. And I like looter shooters.
Which, in all honesty, yeah, I was about to say, in all honesty, it's not a bad thing. It's not a
Yeah,
bad thing.
yeah. But like I don't know if you guys can agree with me on this one, but for a game like Kill Suicide Squad, whatever, again, it's like when it comes to like its audience, right? I think the audience, and since they're definitely making it canon in the Arkhamverse, I think the audience is for a older generation who grew up with the Arkham games, right? So you when you throw this crap of it's online only, battle pass, gear system, and all that stuff, right? They're just gonna look at that and they're gonna look at you dead in the face and go, "We waited this long for this," and it's just messed up too if you really think about it because a lot of people don't know about this, but you want to know what Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League was originally supposed to be?
What?
It was supposed to be a Superman game.
Superman movie, yeah, Superman game. I remember that.
And honestly, now looking at the game, like again, it doesn't look bad. But if you were to ask me, what would I rather have? This game or that canceled Superman game? I'm gonna look at you dead in the face and just genuinely just say it outright. The Superman game. Because I feel like if they did the Superman game, right,
Hmm.
you're not getting the stupid gear system. You're not getting this online only bull crap. You're not getting a battle pass because why would you put a battle pass in a
Well, now,
Superman game? But and that's just kind of like the whole thing,
well,
like
well,
and
now that you bring up the Superman thing, now we have Wonder Woman that is still technically, uh, I think it's still being developed if I'm right.
yeah. So
Now, does this throw that issue into the
well,
whole?
we don't really know. We haven't seen gameplay of it, and if it does, they're probably looking at this and they're hopefully smart and they're learning that hey, don't do this, And there's actually one thing I kind of do want to bring up. Um, that's with the DC reboot. Um,
The movies?
any game going forward. So like, I'm pretty sure like what, we got Killed Suicide Squad, Gotham Knights. I think the last game that's gonna be like doing its own thing is gonna be the Wonder Woman game, and then afterwards, James Gunn he's gonna try his hardest to make sure the following game is gonna be canon in the DC Studios universe. So that's something really cool to think about. But Suicide Squad is not going to be that. That's Elseworlds. Same thing. The Wonder Woman game coming out. That's going to be Elseworlds, but which means it's in its own universe. But eventually, we're going to get a DC game that's going to be connected to the movies and the comics, because there's going to be some comics connecting. Like it's going to be really cool for if you're a DC fan, like you should be really excited right now. Not to mention, um, James Gunn's going as far as to make sure whoever voices Batman in the movies that's not Elseworlds, he's going to make sure that guy who plays Batman is going to be playing Batman in the video games going forward. Like that's how serious he's with DC. Which again, not a lot of games do that if you think about it. I mean, Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3 did that back in the day. That was kind of shocking because normally when you get a movie game, if you remember, X-Men, I forgot which one it was. It was either X Men Origins or no, it wasn't Origins. It was one of the X Men 1 or 2 movies. Uh, they didn't get Hugh Jackman to do the role. They got Mark Hamill to do Wolverine, um, which was pretty neat. But kind of trying not to get sidetracked here, but like kind of going back to like Suicide Squad again for the older audience. Like again, people who are picking up this game are probably gonna be 25 to 30. They don't care about the battle pass shit. They don't care about the online service shit. They just want to pick up a game, play with their friends, and just have at it. Or if they don't have any friends, just pick up the game and play it by themselves and just enjoy it for what it is, right? Because that was the beauty with the Arkham games, right? It wasn't online. It wasn't no like it was just its own thing. And again, you got Spider Man who's sticking their formula. This is like their third game, right? And you got Rocksteady, who is known to be on their A game for 3 games, and they just kind of dropped the ball with this one. But they're delaying the game for many reasons I'm hearing, but
Yeah, I think one of the official, like, I guess their statement is that they're delaying it for fixes and bug fixes and stuff like that. Which to me, I don't think that's the real reason. But
well,
yeah,
yeah, the bug
I
fix
mean,
better
I mean,
be
everybody's saying
turn that shit
because of the
offline.
whole
Yeah.
dislike, the dislike thing because of what they've been doing. Like that's almost everybody on YouTube nowadays that I've seen has reported that it doesn't look like the bug fixes things, and it just looks more like, hey, you guys received some negative stuff about the whole only online thing. This is what the problem looks to be.
We know that as the audience, we know that. You know what I mean? But what the PR statement, right, is that it's quote unquote bug fixes. You know, but we know that yeah, for sure. You know,
All right, so I think we got that topic down. I think the next topic I think we're gonna go over. Uh, you, I just lost track of what topic I was gonna go over, but
that's all right. I think you got the turtles and we got the Resident Evil 4.
yeah, right, like yeah, we could talk about Resident Evil 4. Is it Resident Evil 4 just dropped a new demo? You know, you got any opinions on Resident Evil 4 remake? Any things you guys are looking forward for on the remake?
Yeah, I haven't seen much of it yet. I was watching a little bit of gameplay, which it looks great. I think Capcom has done a great job with it's Capcom, right? My mind is all over
Yeah,
the place, but yeah,
Capcom does the
I believe
Resident Evil license.
Capcom has done a great job with their remakes. I mean, some people may disagree with 3 for being short and different, but I actually enjoyed all of them. Last in October, I uh I did a playthrough of every single one of the remakes, and it was really good. Um, from what I've seen, it's great. They're building off of their engine that they've been using for like the village and stuff like that, I believe, and it looks good, man. Everything looks pretty spot on. My nephew actually just played the demo, and he said that it was pretty good. He's all excited for it, and he was happy that Leon said the bingo line. So
We're definitely getting the jokes that everybody wanted.
yeah, yeah. He said they kept it pretty much like the original, except just, better polish. It's prettier.
It's more realistic.
Hmm.
'Cause, yeah, because I was watching someone playing it, and they were saying like the first thing they said like, yeah, you know how like you can just like bob and weave like a little bit easier than the older than in the older games. And I said, yeah, yeah, like you can go. He's like, it doesn't feel like that. It feels more like like there's a person there. It's gonna be a little bit more difficult to
More
traversal them.
responsive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I will say, it the demo it was set on a locked difficulty. So depending on difficulty, you might be able to pull that off. You know what I mean? From like the original game, but um, I played the demo
Oh, okay.
and
Nice.
yeah, it was short. I enjoyed it though. Um, I think they really nailed it in the park in this one. If you don't know, RE2 was made by a team and RE3 was made by a B team. We all know how RE3 remake went. I personally enjoyed it. I had no issues with it, as it was my admittedly it was my first exposure to Resident Evil 3. Um, I've known Jill Valentine as a character for a while, but like obviously the first game she was ever introduced in was first one. Then I just never played 3. Never got because Nemesis. I never got time to play Nemesis. Admittedly, but I got to play the remake. I enjoyed it. The B team did a good job, but didn't do so well. So they got the people who did the first one, which was Resident Evil 2 remake, A team, to make Resident Evil 4. So you're getting the same treatment that RE2 got with RE4. Um, and it seems like they're making sure to keep everything to a minimum when it comes to changes, but have a little change here and there. Like for example, if you remember playing the original game, you can free the wolf. Yeah, the wolf is dead already.
The dog.
Yeah, the dog. The dog's already dead. Like you can't free it. So, but there's another thing that I'm very curious about that probably won't make the cut. I want to know if the boulder punching scene is in the game. And I want to say it is, but it also isn't because if you played RE4, Heisenberg calls Chris Redfield a boulder punching asshole. So the question is, will they bring it back? Because again, I know they've removed a lot of the cheesy scenes from the original game.
Wait, Leon Boulder punches in four?
No, it was Chris.
Oh, you're talking about five.
Yeah, you're talking about five.
Oh,
Yeah, I was about
was
to
it in
say because
five? Hold up, was it in five?
yeah, yeah, five is when
Oh my god, I got it
Golden
so
Punch.
confused. I am.
No, that's fine, dude. I was like, I was just waiting. I was like, wait a minute, maybe they'll add a Boulder Punch in the remake. That would be
Oh,
fantastic.
dude, that'd be. They yeah. I was like, wait. I mean, Capcom? No, but like, what the fuck? Okay, then I got confused. Then oh, my bad. Because my opinion, they graphically look the same, so you can see how I got the color palettes and gameplay very similar. The confused, but
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
five finishes the Wesker and Chris arc.
yeah. I'm really excited for it. I think they did a really good job with the demo. I think they are going to do a good job with the game. Or we have it pre-ordered, ready. So like once it comes out, I'm gonna have it, and I'm probably just gonna play it, binge it, get it done, and enjoy it for sure. I think this might be one of the Resident Evil games where I might have to replay afterwards, like immediately, because this remake looks really, really good, and I know they put a lot of heart into it. Now, question is, where's that Code Veronica remake, Capcom? No, you skipped one. You
Yeah,
went to
I enjoyed Cold Veronica. That was good.
yeah, they did. They didn't remake Veronica, which is weird. They kind of just went over it. Um,
Yeah, you never know. Could be something planned for the future.
yeah, and there was a mod for it. Someone made a fan game remake, and it got taken down by Capcom. So that might either means one or two things, which I'm not gonna get into. But hopefully they get to Veronica eventually, and not do five because I think five and six visually look good to this day. I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I think they should just do Veronica and just move forward. Because if you're a Resident Evil fan, you'd know that Resident Evil 4 has been re-released multiple times.
Yes.
And on the topic of RE4, before the remake comes out, right? Because opinions might change. What is your favorite version of RE4? I already know my answer, but I want to hear you guys' answer. Like, what is your favorite version, favorite port, should I say, of
Uh,
RE4?
Well, I couldn't really say. I have a copy of the PS2 version that I never played, believe it or not. Um,
Okay, okay.
never played. I think they put it on one of the Nintendo consoles, right? And so
Yep.
I never played that. So for me, the only version I played was the Steam version.
Yeah, so
So
the
Okay.
first copy came out on the GameCube, and then it
It
came
was
out
a
later for the
GameCube exclusive.
PS2.
Oh
It
my
came out into
gosh.
a PS2, then after it went on to the PS2, I believe it went on later to be ported onto the later consoles like the PS3, the Wii, uh, and then, progressively, like every single generation after that.
Yep.
I have, I have to just say I'm a little traumatized with Resident Evil 4 for what you did to me, Shika. By the way.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I got hit with it. I was like, I wonder if he knows about the fish, that's in the water. And
Just to clarify, Rev, you probably know this, but I never knew this. The Shika had me shoot the water at a pier in the section in Resident Evil 4, and
Chica
said
2,
if I
you're a
shoot the water, a gem would come out, and I'll get extra gems. So, you know,
Chica, you're such a dickhead. Holy shit, why would you do that?
it was a good jump
gullible.
God.
scare. It was a good jump scare. I got hit
That's
with it. I got hit with it a long time ago. I think it was one of our friends that did it. The one that started with the letter P. And
Yeah,
he,
gullible
oh
me
yeah.
fell for it. It was good, but I'm still traumatized with
So
that game. So
yeah,
yeah.
no, yeah, don't shoot the water, y'all. But my thing is my favorite port, right? I like the GameCube one. I like how they did an actual controller that was a chainsaw for that game. Um, and I really will say I like the Wii one out of all of them because you can play like a real shooter. If you have the Wii remote and you have like you don't need it, but if you have the gun attachment, you could literally just like play it like a real shooter because you can use motion controls for it. And I think this is I haven't played this one, but I think this is a really good port regardless because I'm going to mention it anyways. The
Hmm.
Oculus port. Oculus port is pretty cool. I've seen gameplay of it.
Oh, the
I
VR port. Yeah.
Yep, and I wish they didn't make an exclusive, but whatevs. But big fat button. This one. I doubt they're gonna do it since the game's only in third person. But they did it for the VR. They did it for the original. But if Sony were to make a Resident Evil 4 remake VR mode
Hmm.
for the PSVR 2, I will buy it in an instant and play it in VR because I think Resident Evil 4. I like Resident Evil 2. It's always gonna be my favorite, but I also
But you bring up
always will.
bring up the PlayStation VR. Like the one thing that bugs the shit out of me with the PlayStation VR is that they should have just. I think they should have done it a long time ago and fix out the Move controllers and not take out the Move controllers and update for like hey, here's better controllers for you guys for the
They
VR
did
headset.
with it.
And
Yeah,
but
they
they're
did
making
though
a
with
whole
the
new
VR 2.
system like that, like a person that actually did buy the PlayStation VR originally, like
Mhm.
that does bug the shit out of me because it's like, hey, this is pretty cool, I played the Arkham. I only bought it just because the Arkham game was on there. That was
Mhm.
really my only big push to go buy the game. And the Move
Yeah.
controllers are like really annoying because all you're doing is just teleporting, and I feel like the teleporting just ruins your immersion a lot more um than just like, oh hey, I'm gonna
Like how VR chat does
yeah,
it
yeah,
per
yeah, yeah,
se.
then
Yeah,
walk
you
around.
can just
I,
walk.
I I rather preference having myself walk around than just, hey, I'm gonna teleport.
Which some games are now doing that, which I'm glad. Like Super Hot, no, I know it does it.
Yeah,
But
that teleporting is basically just for people that get motion sickness or
which
something.
is nice. It's a nice necessity, I would say. That's the big boy word for it. But yeah, no, I you know, more preference in a video game overall. It doesn't matter if it's VR or not. The better I feel like. Um, but yeah, no, Resident Evil 4 remake looks pretty good. I don't think Capcom's not gonna mess it up. I mean, seeing how literally RE3, the quote unquote not good remake, sold well, pretty sure this game's gonna sell well. Um, I don't care how many times Capcom shoves it down my throat. Don't like first person Resident Evil. Sorry, just never gonna happen. I'm always gonna be third person, but I'm gonna respect it anyways.
I always liked the idea. I always thought that Resident Evil would be great as a first person. I feel like I don't get like that much like as a jump scare like as like a third person than I would as a first person. I feel like it's more in my
Yeah.
face, and like that's the one thing that I
Well,
always feel like you have to like there's games that do it right. Like I think Dead Space does it right as a third person game.
yeah, I mean, like my thing is right. My only issue is I feel like the only reason why they did it, and it's just speculation, is because damn indie games like Outlast and fucking what's another one? Amnesia. I'm gonna call them
Amnesia.
indie games because they weren't really made by big companies, but those games were first person, and there was a certain YouTuber that played those horror games, and everyone was like, you know, it'd be a really great idea if we just kept making first person horror games. And I feel like Capcom caught on the idea, and they were like, we're gonna do our own. And I just, at the end of the day, when I look at RE in first person, I always look at it as a tech demo for PlayStation VR because if I'm not mistaken, this is when I kind of fell off the series. Resident Evil Biohazard originally started off as a PlayStation VR game. Don't know if that's true or not, but that's kind of how I discovered it. Because mind you, I stopped playing after 5
Hmm.
at that time. I never got to play 6. I did play a little bit of Raccoon City, Operation Raccoon City. I thought that game was good.
Okay.
But regardless, though, kind of with our RE4, I'm really excited about it.
Well, speaking of RE4, we also got the big collab that's supposedly got coming out for Fortnite now. We got
Leon Kennedy,
the Leon
yeah,
Kennedy thing.
Wait, they're
which
coming out with characters. Leon's coming to Fortnite.
yep.
Yeah.
So Wave 2 of the Resident Evil collab is not coming to Fortnite, or not now, but very soon. With Claire Redfield and Leon this time. Originally, it was Jill Valentine and Chris, but now they're adding Claire and Leon. Um, and their looks wise, it seems like they are definitely adapting the. Obviously, we can't show it here. Not like we would get in trouble. Just like it would take probably hours, but um, it's definitely they're going with the
The remake.
yeah Resident Evil 2 remake looks because Claire definitely has her RU2 look, and it looks like Leon has his actually kind of looks like Leon has his Resident Evil 4 look.
He might have both. I think they might put him as an alt.
There's no styles we know about, but yeah, no, definitely they're definitely coming in the game. They look good. They literally look like Leon. Definitely looks like Leon. Claire looks a bit off. That might be the angle, but
Yeah, I'm looking at the pictures now. Yeah, that Claire looks like just like the remake, the
yeah,
Resident Evil 2 remake Claire.
absolutely,
Definitely.
yeah, no, and looks pretty good. And I guess since we're on the topic of Fortnite, the new season's out. Um, they
What's the
did
theme?
they added we're gonna keep talking about collabs for a bit. Aaron Yeager from Attack on Titan will be coming in the game in four
So
weeks ish from now. Um, they did it a reference to a certain anime, which you may or may not know. Um, it may or may not happen. Do not know. But Akira. There was an Akira reference in the Fortnite trailer. Which they did something similar with the Han Solo shoot style for Jonesy chapter in the chapter 3 trailer, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it was the chapter. Yeah, I think it was the chapter 2 trailer, if I'm not mistaken. That or the chapter 2 trailer. Literally Jonesy shooting in the style of Han Solo. A couple seasons later, we got Han Solo. So Akira pose might come to see Akira characters might be coming in the game later on, may not. And
Is
Family Guy.
Fortnite? I was gonna say, is Fortnite the I guess the biggest game ever to have the most amount of variety of characters or something? Because
Uh,
like,
it's getting to there. I mean, I think it definitely
I
surpasses
think
Smash
I think
Brothers.
yeah, I think the collabs are like just the like right now the thing that's like really holding it out like a lot.
I mean, because you're saying Aaron Yeager, and I'm like, wow, that's like that's Attack on Titan. It's like, okay, I mean, they're really going out there,
Like,
just
yeah,
grabbing characters.
I mean, if you were to say that right back in chapter 1, when the only like character, like the biggest characters they added, like this is you're gonna get a laugh out of this, right? The biggest characters that they added that actually looked like the characters were back in the season, like around season 9, season 8, season 10 of chapter 1, which was years ago at this point. The big three characters that they had in the game, right, were Star Lord, Catwoman, and Batman, right? Back then, that was really unheard of, right? They're like, because people would always want these crossovers, right? Oh, we want Iron Man and Fortnite. We want Spider Man in Fortnite, right? We want like insert like DC or Marvel character in Fortnite, right? And it just came. It's just like, dude, they're never gonna do that. That's cringe, you know. Like, and the Fortnite was like, okay, we'll listen. We'll see what you have to say, right? And then chapter 2 happens, chapter 3 happens, and chapter 4 happens. And during that duration of chapters, we got a wide pool of characters: Deadpool, Raven, Master Chief, Doom Guy. Geralt from The Witcher, fucking like literally, if you name like any character, they may or may not be in the Fortnite. Not, but may or may not be in Fortnite at this point, because it's just when it comes to crossovers, it's getting pretty ridiculous, but not in a bad way. It's kind of impressive. Like even for people who don't like Fortnite, they have to like admit that like that's pretty impressive. Like no other game can like, and I'm looking left and right now, making sure I'm not missing anything, but I'm pretty sure no game you can't really tell me any game that has that amount of crossovers. Like games have crossovers once in a while, yeah. But you can't tell me there's like another game out there that does the amount of collabs like Fortnite does. Cannot. There's like there like if there is, then I missed one, but it's pretty insane at this point when it comes to collabs, I will say. And I'd say more collabs the better. I mean, hey, people love them, keep them coming, you know? If it's not broken, don't fix it.
Yeah. I think that gets over and done with the Fortnite thing. I think the newest thing that I think everyone's talking about is the Ninja Turtle movie, the new one.
Who's talking about
There are a lot of, well, a lot of people
that?
talking about it. New Ninja Turtle movie coming out. We got a new one. They're
Live
kids.
action or animated?
Cartoon animated like Spider-Verse apparently.
That's a
But
movie. I thought it was going to be on TV or something.
is it?
Because no, I'm saying the trailer that you had me watch a while
Uh-huh.
ago. I thought that it looked like the Spider Verse animation first of all, but I was just like I thought that was just like a made for TV movie. That's a legit like feature film.
I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting. It's a very interesting show. It's like they want it's like they want to change the turtles every single year. It looks like, and then and it's very weird.
Yeah, like I said, the trailer I saw looked fun. It started off pretty fun. I don't like what they did to Raphael. He's missing a tooth, but whatever. I guess creative differences.
I guess that's what they look at it as, like being rough, and like that's how like a character basically like, oh yeah, we're gonna have him miss a tooth, and like like it basically works with his character, and I'm like, yeah, it's nice. But design
Yeah.
wise, it's like you're looking at every single character at this point, and I'm like, ah man, um, excuse, you're looking at it and you're just like, sorry,
I give
uh,
him props. Yeah, I was gonna say I give him props for the art style. Them having kid voices was okay, I guess. I uh, I'm still confused. I didn't see April, and I didn't see Casey Jones in there. So are they not in this one, or is this like early years of the Turtles or something like that?
I think that's what they're trying to do, because it looks like they're just going from like, like we're going back again. Because there was a show that they did this a while back, and they were like young also, and I think the design is similar, but it's really interesting on like how they're taking this, and it's just like each time we're like trying to make them younger and younger for the younger generation, and it's like you guys have all this stuff for done this before, and it's a little bit
Redundant.
yeah.
Well, my thing is, you know what, what's confusing me. And I got to say something about this whole like changing of old things. These are things that we all grew up with, right? A lot of us are older. I would say we're older, at least older than 25, right? 30 or almost there, right? Maybe
I'm
25.
21, but
Oh,
like,
okay. Well, you're a
yeah,
younger guy,
I mean,
but
I'm growing up, you know,
but
but
but I
yeah,
mean, like for older generation, like this is stuff we grew up with. This is nostalgia for us, and I still don't understand where's the creative minds to make something new. Like, stop changing things all the time of old things. Like, it's done, let it live in like a hall of fame or something and make something new. But they're changing everything. Like, they're making different revisions of everything, and I don't understand it. I guess what is it? You can't make up something your own. You can't make like ninja frogs or something. You know what I mean? Like, do something new instead of just like, I don't know, changing things all the time, changing backstories and characters, and I don't know. It's just weird, man. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I understand it's trying to say they're making it for a new generation, but the new generations probably don't even care about this. Who's really getting excited for Ninja Turtles movie, right? People that were young that love Ninja Turtles that are now adults and are like, okay, I got money in my pocket, I'm going to pay for this ticket. I can't see a lot of kids unless I'm out of touch with the children these days. And that could be the case, but I don't see a lot of children running around, pretending they're Leonardo and Donatello in the streets. You know what I mean? Like I did growing up. I used to pretend I was Raphael kicking the living hell out of my friends. So I don't know. There's just it's very strange to me.
Yeah, I mean, for me, right, like my father, he was part of that generation, right? He loaned me the toys he kind of had as a teenager and young adult, right? I had a Raphael. I remember the exact figure too. It was a Raphael figure. It was him wearing the trench coat with the bandana, and it was a really cool figure, and I just really wish I didn't lose it because practically an antique at this point.
Yeah.
It's probably not lost. It's probably in like a toy box or something, but it was a really cool toy, and I'm like, and I'm like, I want to know, like, hey, I want to know more about, these guys, right? So he busted out the movies, the DVDs, right? And this was like when I was like young, dude, like talking '06, '05, right? Like around that time. '04 maybe, but this is way before I got into Star Wars. My life changed forever practically. Thank you, Spike TV. But for me, I watched the first movie and I'm like, these guys are pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got like this news reporter, April O'Neil, really cool person, right? And then you got like the Turtles, and then you got
Man.
um, you know,
Splinter and other
Splinter, which was
characters.
really the
Shredder.
puppeteering. Can we just talk about the puppeteering for that movie? Too good. That puppeteer was too good. Like
Oh, you
the
talking about the first feature film, the live
the live
action?
action ones, yeah,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
not
yeah.
the not the not the Michael Bay ones. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah,
Yeah, when they had the rubber
I,
suits and stuff,
mhm.
man, and
And
they
they
actually
sweated.
had martial artists in the suits. Yeah.
Yeah, and they sweated like their balls off, literally in those suits. But like they did it, like it was they got the paycheck and stuff, and like that's that's what I grew up with, right? But then once we got cable, I was watching not the Nickelodeon one, not the Nickelodeon ones, right? It was the one that was on 4Kids, TMNT. That was watching, and you know afterwards, I watched pretty much like all the seasons for that show. Um, there was
See, and there
one.
goes to show you that I'm out of touch because I didn't watch those. So you being younger watching those, so I guess I can understand that younger generations are enjoying it. You know, so
Yeah,
I
but
just
like,
wanted to clarify that from what I was saying earlier,
oh,
because
absolutely,
sometimes I just rant on and I'm like not really thinking, so I got to like sit back and listen to you, and listening to you actually helps me understand a bit of what your
yeah,
experience
absolutely,
is
man.
with turtles as a younger person.
Yeah, like again, like I'd like to say there's three generations, not four, like three. I mean, I'd say three, right? So you got the one generation, Gen One. You're part of Gen One, right? And
Oh yeah,
that's a really cool generation to be a part. Like any generation, I feel like is really cool to be a part of, right?
yeah,
You know, Gen Three, they might be interesting people, but that's kind of besides the point. I'm not like gonna elaborate on that. Like, not bad people, but like they're kind of like those people where like, well, what do you mean by that? Like with Gen One or Gen Two, you say something, they're not gonna like question you for it. They're gonna be like, okay, that's fair. Like like Generation Two, right? That's like thousands, right? And that's like with the TMNT show. Again, not the Nickelodeon one, not the two Nickelodeon ones. Like just the one that was on 4Kids. and then the movie that came out, the CGI one, which pretty good movie. If you haven't seen like that, like if I were to tell you watch anything moderate, it would be the TMNT show that was around the 2000s, not the Nickelodeon ones. That one is pretty good. And if you don't want to watch like another, like if you don't watch like 5 seasons or whatever, um, I also recommend watching the CGI movie that came out around 08, 07, which was too damn good for its time. And it was just amazing. And like that was for me peak TMNT personally. Um, and then it for me like modern TMNT kind of or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles kind of fell after um after the live action movie because the Nickelodeon show really wasn't a fan with that show. Even though I know that show has its hardcore fan base, and I will say they were respecting of the source material, which I can't complain about that. Um, I just wasn't a fan of the art style personally. Um, and just like the way they did, like it was just the animation, and the art style. Really wasn't a fan of. And that's coming from a person who really likes like CG TV shows, right? Because I grew up with Star Wars. When it comes to Star Wars, right? Like I can talk about Star Wars all day. Like that there's like multiple generations of Star Wars, right? You got the prequel trilogy. You got like the way I label it is like this. You got the the OT trilogy, which is 4, 5, and 6, right? Then you got the prequel trilogy, which is 1, 2, 3, and then this is when it kind of gets a bit interesting, right? I kind of count the prequel era of or prequel generation, but not really. Clone Wars, right? Clone Wars generation, which that it's his own thing. It's with the prequels, it adds more backstory to the prequel movies.
Yeah,
Makes
yeah.
you
The Clone
appreciate
Wars
even
was good.
yeah, it makes you appreciate it even more. And that's separate from the fantastic '03 series Clone Wars, which is not canon anymore. It's Legends, but regardless, that series was pretty good. But the Clone Wars was a CGI series, just like TMNT. I don't know. Something landed for me for that versus, you know, something like the TMNT show that was CG.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Well, I mean, like I said, for me, I this new trailer looks fun. I like the animations, everything like that. But I just feel like how much more of something can you just like make, and I guess maybe infinity. So for me, I probably would probably watch this if it was on a streaming service in the future. I don't think I would pay money to go to a theater to see this, but
um,
it looks like Paramount Pictures is producing it maybe. And yeah, so that's for a feature film. I don't know, maybe they should have just done another live action or something like that. Probably would have been cool. But animation, I guess it's cool. I guess Spider Verse has made animation big in the theaters.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
yeah,
Hmm.
what's into Spider-Verse, right? It made other anime like yes, it's gonna get to the point where everyone's gonna be doing what Spider-Verse did. It's not gonna be fun and unique anymore. And I can already hear
It's not
people
gonna have
complaining
its
about that.
style like it's supposed to. It's just gonna be a copy and paste kind of thing, like laziness. You think?
Like, I don't think there's
Well,
gonna be
not
laziness.
laziness. It's more or less like a trend, right? And I think
Yeah,
that's what it is. It's
because
trending because it's like, oh, that did well, and so we could do it our own way and
because
try it.
yeah, because like look at Pixar, right? They did like they fucking just said, "Hey, watch this shit." Boom, Toy Story, right? Everyone was like, "Oh, we gotta do that," right? And everyone's copying Pixar. Everyone's like, "Dude, Pixar, you're so like it's like a cool kid just did a kickflip." It's like, "Oh my god, bro, he just did a kickflip, right?" And they're like just losing their minds out of it. Like this is like insane in the membrane. Like, dude, like holy crap, right? And they're kind of just being cocky with it. They're doing their thing. They're like, yeah, we're the best in the world, right? All of a sudden, strut. Over these years, you got companies like DreamWorks and Sony Animations, just try to figure out what is the magic, right? And granted, these movies didn't really age that well, when it comes to a lot of the Sony animation and DreamWorks stuff, like visually, that is like, for example, like I'm gonna just say it. I didn't really like the way that my How to Train Your Dragon looks now compared to did back then. It just doesn't look that good. You can say the same thing with Toy Story.
Is what's his name look older, or is he just like
No, it's just the way that the models look. It just look ugh, right? But can you see? Look at a movie like Puss in Boots, Last Wish, latest DreamWorks movie. It looks amazing, dude. Right? And same thing with Into the Spider Verse, right? Looks fantastic. That's by Sony Animation.
mhm,
The thing is, they are pushing Pixar out of their comfort zone, right? They have to, and the thing is, when it comes to animation, right, it should strive to bring new ideas. The thing what I don't like about Pixar personally is how Pixar just can literally dump out a movie that literally looks like the same like the one that came out last year, right? And that's why I've been liking more of Disney's movies, like Disney animation movies and Pixar, is because they're giving out the bread and butter when it comes to stylization. And I will say, like when their answer to Into the Spider Verse and whatnot was Turning Red.
uh-huh.
Turning Red visually looks good. I'll just say it right now. Like the style that they're going for that movie was good. I hope more movies do it. And kind of going back to TMNT is just doing what Into the Spider Verse and Mitchell's versus Machine did, where it's, hey, we're gonna do this little like stop like frame style, and we're gonna see how it goes. And again, it looks good. Everything looks good. I just I have to agree with Shader in this one. When's enough going to be enough when it comes to altering characters, right? And I'm going to just say this right now. Why alter a character when you can make a new one, right? I don't want someone to
No,
go
I
and
agree with you 100. Make the new one and everything.
yeah,
Honestly, and you do have a lot of like older characters backlog that hasn't like shown um a lot of love recently. I always look at the DC catalog and I go, oh, Static's been on your backlog for years, and you
and
did
you're not doing anything,
and you did a lovely cartoon,
and you're not
and
doing anything though.
this is by the way, just heads up, this is probably the last thing we're probably gonna get into, so we're gonna do the closing things on this, and so like just last few things we're probably gonna talk about. Um, but like talking about Static, like you have that on your backlog, and people want it so bad, and you can see the responses, and I look at Twitter, I look at like, all social media, and I'm like, where people are responding to this. I don't know if corporate like is just like, no, 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 just stick to this. This is what people want. This is the vision. And we've seen it with Star Wars. They don't fully see the full vision of what people want to do.
That's what
Yeah,
that
And
gave.
the thing is that they forget, they try to stay with the times, and they forget why these things were so popular to
They
begin
forget their
with,
roots.
right?
Honestly, yeah, what you're saying, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and a bunch of people get into a think tank, and they have all these creative ideas, and they don't want to, like, yeah, I guess maybe not offend, but they don't want to think everyone in the room is not important enough with their ideas, so they just take it, and you know, instead of just having one good direction with things. And I don't know. It is what it is. I mean, times are changing. I get it, but it's like at the
I
same
mean,
time,
like
you
I
can't.
sorry to cut
Yeah,
you
go
off.
ahead. No, no, no. You're fine.
Because the one thing that I always think of is with you is that I think of RoboCop, and you had well you were big with I think RoboCop. Total Recall was another
Oh
one
shit.
that was big in the 80s.
Yep.
Um, and then you had Judge Dredd, which I think Judge Dredd did really good in the box office, and it was actually a good movie. But like looking at like Total Recall and RoboCop, the remakes didn't do that well, and
Mm-mm.
it's like you're not even like taking like the source material. It's like you have to like twist so much of the source material that made the movies amazing,
Yeah.
and it's like you're just like not making them as fun and lovable and memorable. Like it's like everyone's like, oh, I gotta put my little twist here, and this has gotta change here or something like that. Like you just warp the movie to the point where it just becomes absolutely not what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, here's how I see it too. It's like, why have to remake everything? Why not just continuation? You know, like a sequel, or I'm okay with prequels and sequels. I really am, because it's like, okay, well, we could tell a story that wasn't told already. But like, maybe a continuation of that universe. That's all you really have to do. Bring new characters in a continuation of a universe, and it'll be fun. It'll be exciting. It's something new. And if you want to keep them hip with the times, then keep them hip with the times, but have a good lead up to that as well. Just don't take these remakes and just be like, okay, everything that you once knew is totally different. And that's, to me, that's just, it's just like, people, you're going to turn some people off, because they'll be like, this is not what I remember. And look, and again, it's not made for the people that remembered it, but remember, when you put a name of something that's recognizable, you're going to attract the people that loved it to begin with.
Yeah.
And when
Absolutely.
and when
Look
they
at
watch
COD.
it and they're going to say, this ain't what I remember, you're just going to it's going to be a failure.
Look at COD. COD's a great example. You put COD on a game, people are gonna buy it, right? New generation is gonna buy it, but you know who else is gonna buy it? The old generation who bought Black Ops 2 back in 2012. They're gonna do it,
Yeah.
which was 10. Well, now it's been 10 years since
11. Yeah,
2012.
10,
Yeah,
11.
roughly, yeah.
Mhm.
And that's the thing, and that's why like people are like, why is there grown ass men playing Call of Duty? Oh, they want to relive that high that they had back in Black Ops 2, and they can't because you know company is incompetent enough on making a you know product that they were making back in 2012,
Well,
which
look,
was
look, look, look,
perfect.
you bring up COD. Like, look at the canonicy of COD. Then you have to look at like what they did
Oh
now, like
yeah,
from like
yeah. Look at
MW from
that.
the
Yeah.
original
Speaking of
MW1
which,
and MW2. Like
yeah, they
that's
rebooted the
that that that
fucking damn
that that
thing.
that, that
Yeah,
that's and that's what they're all doing now. Is just
they just
um
rebooted it, and granted, and people were like, "Listen, I grew up with Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3. Not Call of Duty 2019 Modern Warfare, right? Like, and I feel like their story was fine, but like, I'm kind of glad you brought this up. A lot of people, which hey, again, it's probably not for me, right? But you're gonna grab a name, you're gonna smack it onto something, and it's like,
mhm.
okay, Black Ops Cold War. Oh, that means Woods is gonna return, right? Yeah, except one thing, it's not the original VA. Okay, well that's kind of just fucked up. What about price? Yeah, we couldn't get the original VA. Well, why not? Uh, there were too much money. I'm like, are you fucking serious right now?
Yeah, and then you have and then you have all these corporate like Activision. Like everybody says, Activision makes all these like a lot of money, and they have a lot of studios, and
They're like
then they kill
Rockstar
off a lot of
Games. They can
studios.
literally pay for the music license to be in the original GTA trilogy. Say not to, right? They have the money. Just do it. And it's again, but like kind of going back to what like Vader is like saying, don't smack something, right? Don't put something, don't label something and then change it. You label something that what like again, example TMNT, you switch it up. No one like literally the only people who could be buying it are the new generation. But if you're gonna complain about how the old generation are complaining, don't put the name on it, right?
Closing
If you are,
statements.
make it a spin-off, make it an alternative universe, dot dot dot, some shit like into the Turtleverse or some shit. I don't know, like where April's different fucking person. Because again, if they left the character alone, right? And again, continuity wise, right? If we're gonna talk about continuity wise, April O'Neil was a news reporter who, in the absence of, and I know, and then like these 12-year-olds are telling me no, I'm wrong, which is funny, right?
Hmm.
She was a news reporter, and listen, the person that she was working for, there are two different people. One's a male who's under the African American descent, while the other one is a female who's not under the African American descent, if anything, Caucasian. If again, I'm not much of a lore expert, but when it comes to continuity, an issue one of a issue and going forward, that's their continuity. Yes, she was based off of one of the writer's wife who was mixed, but that was the wife who was mixed, right? Not April O'Neil, the fictional character. So you grab a character like April O'Neil, who is continuity number one,
Uh huh.
a news reporter, who was Caucasian or under that spectrum, that is her character. No it's no buts, no coconuts. That's just how it is, right? Same thing. That's like if they just grab Spider-Man issue number one, Amazing Fucking Fantasy, right? And someone goes, "Oh, did you know Spider-Man was actually supposed to be?" I'm like, "Nope." Well, okay, sure, maybe he was supposed to be, right? And I know a lot of people point out, "Oh, well, she has a perm," and it's like, white people got perms back in the 80s and 90s as well, right? It's like it's not like again, I'm not like trying to be because again, this is coming from a person like like again, I fucking adore Miles Morales, right? And I'm kind of glad we have Miles Morales as a character because God forbid if they're pulling the crap that they're pulling now, we wouldn't have Miles Morales as a
Well,
character.
well,
We would have
I'm
Peter
gonna,
Parker, but African American.
I'm gonna cut you off for this because I know you bring up Miles. The last thing that I seen them doing comic wise, there was a big issue, and Miles became like Thor or something like that, and it was very like disliked because of it wasn't the
That was
character.
messed up. That wasn't his character. It was a what if, but they made him this stereotypical. They made him a stereotype,
Yeah,
which is quite honestly offensive, right? And that man got away with it, right? Which I don't think he should have, right? And maybe it was an accident, but like I don't believe in that. Like I believe in accidents, but I also believe that there's a fine line of proofreading before shooting your stuff out, right? And again, I
Mm.
love when characters are brand new characters are made, right? And again, go like kind of going off of what Vader said. I kind of because like for example, if we if they were decided to make a new Superman
hmm
in the year of 2023,
hmm
we wouldn't have Calvin Ellis, right? Because they're just like, okay, we need to be diverse. Okay, well, let's just make this character, this race, this gender, and whatnot, right? I'm glad characters like Miss Marvel exist, right? Kamala Khan, right? And Carol Danvers is back bumped up to Captain Marvel. I'm glad characters like Calvin Ellis exist. I'm glad characters like Miles. I'm glad that characters like Black, all these characters. Like I'm like because again, Black Adam, like if there was no Black Adam, then they would make Shazam just totally different character because these characters need to exist to balance each other out. You know what I mean? If they were to make a best friend for April O'Neil, who is
it was
under
Betty.
doesn't matter.
Betty was her best friend
Yeah,
in
they could
the
have
show.
like well no make it like a squad of three instead. Like I know Betty was her best friend, but, like make a squad of three or something. Do something like make a new character. People are open with new ideas. Like again, we wouldn't if we didn't have characters like Static Shock, Miles Morales, all these characters. We wouldn't we would be in a different case of okay, we got to make this character this and that, and just when you just grab a character and you alter them, it just breaks the creativity and whatnot. Again, like I know, like a lot of people are like, well, you're just being racist. You're being. I'm like, no, I'm just being logical about it. Like I don't. Again, I don't. Like I said, I don't mess with it. Like that's just kind of what I'm saying.
Same, and I guess then in the long run, that's just the beauty of opinion for everyone, right? Because some people would be like, I don't mind changing a character; it's not a big deal to me, and other people are like, no, it's a huge deal for me. And at the end of the day, what it's going to boil down to is people's wallets, and that's the thing when you're making stuff like this, because this is all entertainment for everyone, right?
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
but but it's for everyone. But remember, you have core people that stick with you, and if you piss them off, they're gone.
They're gone.
And then
Yep.
you're going to have to entice newer people to love your stuff as much as the core people did.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it all depends. And I think your success lies within the box office or how much money you make off of this thing,
And
and money
yeah.
talks.
And I will. And I kind of put like my fishy things. Like just like little PowerPoint thingies, but stop changing characters, make new ones. It doesn't cost you money. Just grab ink and paper, make a new character. Don't change them up because people like new characters. You make new characters, you get new fans of that character, right? Not only will you have fans of April O'Neil, but you have fans of insert new character. And not to mention when I'm putting my like again, I'm gonna go see the movie regardless, right? Because I want to see what it's about. I think the because I like this when I say I don't like what they're doing with a certain character, that doesn't mean I don't like the actor or actress. Like I respect them 110%. I respect the animators. I respect the story writers. You know, well, you know, I like if anything, the people that I kind of blame at the end of the day, like when it comes to anything, right, is there's nothing can't be done without story, right? So the story writers are the ones who kind of get the whole, you know, the story writers and the directors. They're the ones you want to look at. Those are the ones you want to kind of critique. If you want to critique the actors or actresses or the animation, you can do that. But like my thing is one thing I just want to get like straight up, like no, don't like I don't support hate when it comes to things like I mean I had to deal with that with the whole trilogy for Star Wars fans when the sequel trilogy came out. I didn't like how peeps were harassing actors and actresses for something that they got paid for to do to act, you know. But like I said, I'm open. Like I said, like again, for example, like great biggest change that, and for me, a person who hasn't read Marvel comics until later on, Nick Fury, Samuel Jackson. Nick Fury was a white guy at one point. I didn't mind it. Right, it's all about execution at the end of the day. Um, and I'm not gonna really count out April O'Neil just yet. I want to see how they portray the character because who knows, it might be good. I just again, I'm not real. I just say if you can keep it original, keep it original. That's all I'm saying. That's just kind of like my final thoughts on the whole thing.
That's all we ask for. Just keep it original. You know.
Yep.
Vader, any last things?
No, man, I think this is a good conversation. I'm glad to be a part of this. I'm really looking forward to the next one. And yeah, it was very interesting to say the least.
All right, I am Shikatoon. I'd like to thank everyone for hopping on today. Rev,
Appreciate
Vader,
it. Thank you.
thank you
Thank
guys
you. Thank
again.
you.
Where can we find you guys again?
Well, I have a YouTube channel under the same name, Vadershader, that I'm making content. It may not be great, but I'm working on it. I'm trying to get better every day. And you can follow me on Twitch, www.twitch.tv/Vadershader, where I live stream regularly, weekly.
Rev?
You can find me probably on Vader's or Shika stream playing games, or when I do start streaming again, um, twitch.tv/RevWorldEXE. Don't feel afraid to say hi. You know, my rules don't be a meanie. That's it. But that's my Twitch. That's what I do. And I will hope to see you guys hopefully next time, maybe. I don't know.
And thanks again, guys, for listening, watching, and doing whatever. Again, I'm Shikatoon, and I hope you enjoy this little showcase.